story we're doing in our news this morning, the many high streets doomed to die, that's in the Mail, saying that generally worse in the north than in the south, but the most number of empty shops is found in Margate, where 37% of all shops are in fact closed at the moment.
19 minutes to 7. Walk down almost any high street and you may see boarded up shops or empty premises. Some blame the economic downturn with rising rents and rates. Others say it's simply down to competition from online retailers and large shopping centres.
Whatever the reasons, our high streets seem to be suffering like never before. Phil Lavelle is in one badly affected town, Rotherham, in South Yorkshire. Morning to you, Phil.
Yeah, morning you too. In fact, there are more vacant shops here in Rotherham than any other town or city across Great Britain. In fact, you can see down there's probably 2 or 3 which are boarded up. Not necessarily anything wrong with them, they just can't find anybody who wants to take them on. But this is by no means a problem just for Rotherham or just for the north of England. This is affecting the entire country. In fact, yesterday afternoon I spent the day in Oxford. I visited one very pretty little street which was once full of independent shops. I say once because now there are a lot fewer than there were before. If you're looking for somewhere charming, maybe even a little bit quaint to do your shopping, then Little Clarendon in Oxford could be right up your street. But if you want independent shops, the number here is shrinking. 3 of them have closed down this year already, now nothing more than vacant, unused space. Lacey's is the latest. After 25 years, owner Sue is having to say goodbye.
It's a shop I've run for 25 years and 23 very successfully, very happy years. The last 2 have been very dire due to the economy and the way that people shop now, customers shop. I think a lot of the yummy mummies have now gone off to the high street to find something a little less expensive. We've got competition from Bicester Village, which is very close to Oxford.
Across the country, shops are standing empty and there really does seem to be a north-south divide. The worst place is here in Rotherham, where more than a quarter of shops have no tenant. That's followed by Walsall in the West Midlands, again with a similar amount. In fact, of the 25 towns or cities with the most vacant retail spaces, more than half are in northern or eastern England and 8 in the Midlands. The south accounts for 2, Luton and Watford, which has a 20% vacancy rate, and 1 in the west, Bristol, which has 21%. It would be easiest to blame the recession, but experts say although that has had a part to play, there are other contributing factors too. For example, concerns about the costs of business rates. Also, if you want to convert premises from, say, a shop into an office or a bar, it's not particularly easy. There is a lot of red tape to go through. On top of that, there are concerns about parking too, because if the council increases the price of parking outside your premises, then that could act as a deterrent to customers. Because why would they want to pay a huge amount to come to your store when they can get it for free at an out-of-town shopping centre or even one of the large supermarkets?
There does need to be a bit more consumer confidence into the market, so people need to feel a bit happier about their positions, that they've got excess cash to spend. And I also think there needs to be a bit more liquidity into the market so that retailers, especially independents, have access to liquidity for funding so that they can invest in the businesses.
Another cause of shops left empty is when large chains go bust, instantly creating tens, maybe hundreds of vacant premises in towns and cities across the country. Little Clarendon Street has been spared that because the majority of shops here are or were independent. But at this rate, there may not be many left in the future. I must say Rotherham Council disputes these figures. It says that it is not necessarily the worst place in the country, but whether it is or it isn't, there are still many other places which are very high up on that list that could perhaps take that rather unfortunate title. Now, the name of this report was Terminal Illness or Gradual Decline for the High Street. Obviously, those who work in the retail industry will be hoping it is the latter, so at some point these shops can be let out and the High Street can get back on its feet.
All right, Phil. Thanks very much. Phil Lavelle in Rotherham.